hello, and welcome to Colony Talk with
Colony Drop.
We're here today on our pilot episode to talk about
pilots.
I'm your host Zappa, and today we have the Queen of Space with us. Now, 4 pilot episodes, so we're just going to have a little short list, a little back and forth. A little back and forth about our top 20 pilots. No, that's entirely too long. No, it's about top 5 between the two of us.
I think top 5 is good.
Top 5 is good.
So
indeed. So we'll go ahead and start off with our guests. Who is your bottom of the top?
My bottom of the top pick. So picking just 5 Gundam pilots I really like is hard. So at number 5, I had to come in with Patrick COLASOUR from Gundam 00.
Why?
Because Patrick is like, okay, first of all, he's a Moshmeyer clone, which always makes me really happy because I love Moshmeyer. But on top of being a Moshmeyer clone, he does everything right, he survives every battle, and I guess spoilers, he gets the girl in the end, which is so rare in a Gundam series. And like, I love romance in my mecha, so once in a while, it's kind of cool when somebody actually gets the girl. So yeah, that's why I picked Patrick COLASOUR for him. Also, he's got a great mech, and he's fun to watch, so.
Alright. Well, my bottom of the top, since it's actually hard to pick, it is hard to pick pilots over robots. It's a little difficult. For me, you know, there's so many girl pilots on this whole list. At the bottom of the top is SAMON from Gundam Crossbone. Now, it's the manga character, and probably the oldest pilot in the series that's still alive. Name me an older pilot. Someone older than 73, go. You can't do it, that's right. But the reason I like him is he's a crafty old man, and he piloted a ball Gundam. He slapped a Gundam face on a ball and made everybody think the ball was as big as an asteroid. The Gundam was as big as an asteroid. It's a little ridiculous, and that's why the ZEON is so huge.
No more ridiculous, though, than the constant use of inflatable asteroids. That always makes me giggle. No one ever talks about inflatable asteroids.
Or inflatable robots.
Yeah, they just, boop, there they are.
Alright, so you're number 4.
Number 4. For number 4, I had to go with my girl, Sochi Hyam from Turn a Gundam.
Turn a Gundam.
Turn A.
We're gonna turn a Gundam.
Sochi, like, first of all, I cosplay as Sochi. But, like, the Gundam shows up, and Sochi's like, nah, man, I'm piloting this. And, like, she gets in it first, and she sits in Laurent's lap and is like, nah, I'm piloting this. There aren't a lot of female Gundam pilots to begin with. And I mean, I know she's not the pilot of the Gundam, she doesn't remain so. But I've always loved that scene, because he's butt naked except for this little fish. And she's just like, doesn't care. She's just like, giant robot, so much more important than your nudity. I felt that on a deep spiritual level. Also, she pilots the Kapul, which I love just because it's silly. I'd love to be a Kapul Musume someday with the big claws. And she's a pilot, and she uses her biplane skills to get them out of trouble a lot. So she's like this very all-around important combat character that doesn't get to pilot the Gundam, but man, without her, Laurent would be screwed.
Yeah, he might sink into an ocean somewhere.
She's kind of the brains of the operation sometimes.
Okay. So my 4th is the mobile armor pilot and science officer of the UMON, Oliver May. It's not very often that you see some nobody. It's just the guy. It's like, I have to push all the buttons and type all the reports. And I wonder how he goes back and forth between space and his command so fast to explain every little trial robot that they'd have to talk about. The Hidolfer, the big cannon, I can't remember the name of it, it's fine. But then he gets into the big wrong at the end. It's like, no, I'm tired of all my people dying. It's the battle of, was it Axis or Solomon? Not Solomon. It's the last one of the main series. And he's out there, he's like, no, I'm tired of my people dying. All these little Algos, stop dying. So he gets in there, and he pilots a mobile armor and makes it out. Someone on ZEON is the hero, and he makes it out alive. And his name wasn't Char. Big Wrong is red though, so maybe that has something to do with it.
The red ones go faster.
I don't know if it went faster, but it sure lived longer. Alright, so we're now up to number 3. Number 3 on the list, it's
My number 3 pick was ZINNERMAN from Gundam Unicorn. He's not technically a mobile suit pilot. He's sort of a ship pilot. I know. But when it comes to a character, the conversation that ZINNERMAN has with Banagher about crying, I thought was so important. This is kind of deeply related to Gundam to me, but Gundam has always had a way of like talking about very real problems that people deal with in a way that you don't even really know that it's happening. So the conversation between ZINNERMAN and Banagher about crying like was a big deal to me, because this is like this big manly man who just exudes testosterone, and he's like telling the younger boy, like, you know, it's okay to cry. Like, I don't trust men who don't cry, because it's very important, especially in a time of war, to like grieve and let out your emotions. And I love it that Gundam tries to reinforce these kinds of things, even though it's a shonen action series meant to sell toys. You know, they do a really good job of putting good messages in there, and I really love ZINNERMAN for that. He's really awesome. He's like destroying toxic masculinity. Go ZINNERMAN.
It's good. For being a big man, he still has a big heart.
True feminist. ZINNERMAN.
Alright, so my number 3, and it'd be kind of dumb if I didn't have anyone from G Gundam on the list, will be ALLENBY BEARDSLEY. And not because of Sailor Moon Gundam. Although because of Sailor Moon Gundam. But no, it's just, it's the hot blood girl that gets in your face and will punch you and laugh at you, pick you back up and punch you again because she's having a good time. Even just playing video games, the video games can't keep up. AR before AR was AR. But no, she gets out there and she handles business. I don't want to say she just handles business, because she does get handled as well, but the love interest that gets nothing at the end, and it's a little tragic. It's a little sad, but
that's Gundam for you.
That is Gundam for you.
We get so few successful romances. Go right.
and the ones you want usually don't happen. And that's one that a lot of people, I hear a lot of people want that. It's a lot better than what happens at the end. But she comes out of it on top, and we're getting closer to the top. It's a terrible transition, but it's okay. Number 2.
Number 2. For number 2, I had to go with my boy, Locom Stratos. The first one.
There we go.
Not his horrible twin brother. The first one from season 1. I just really love him as a character. I am a big fan of sniper robots, and like they really worked really well with that and really played him up as a pilot. Even though he was a sniper, they were always making it very like suspenseful, which is hard to do with a sniper character, especially when all the other boys are like zipping around with crazy glowing swords. And of course, you know, the end of season 1 was just heartbreaking. And anytime Gundam can make me actually cry really hard, I can't help but love it. A close second on this would have been Laurence from Thunderbolt, because man, I cried through that too. There's nothing funnier than sitting on the couch with my friend in Malaysia. We're watching Thunderbolt, and I'm just crying, and he's laughing at me.
But if you can't cry at Gundam, then what can you?
What can you cry at?
Didn't we just talk about crying?
Yeah, it's always okay to cry, especially with Gundam.
It's always okay to cry, especially when your favorite character bites it. Do you know who doesn't bite it?
Who?
A lot of people don't bite it.
Well, it's Gundam. There's not that many actually.
But I digress. Since you had a little twist and it's not a Gundam pilot, I'm going to do the same thing with my number 2. Number 2 is KAMIKI SEKAI from Gundam Build Fighters Try. He is the hot blood punch face that everyone thinks is like, oh no, he's Domon's son. No, he's not. He's not Domon's son. But still, he gets in there and he's like, I don't know what a Gundam is. I just want to play this fight game. And he gets in there and he gets good and he gets better. And the part that always really gets me in the series is just that sense of you're putting in everything and you still get beat down. You still get beat down, and you keep putting in everything, and you keep putting in more and more and more, and everything comes together at the end when everyone just puts in their hard work and their determination, and they just get through. And they get through hard.
Something we know all about at Colony Drop Cosplay.
We get through hard. This train is rolling and it's not stopping. This video game has started and this boy is not stopping at the controls. Oh, his arm broke. No. Oh, he's getting hurt in real life. No, he's not stopping. And he keeps going through, but still, it's hot blood and it's punch face, and that's always just going to get my attention a lot more than a lot of the technical drama that most other people appreciate about the regular shows. So finally, the best. Who is the number one? Who is number one?
Number one is Char. Okay, really, if you know me at all, this is actually a tie between Char AZNABLE and Hamon Karn. Or together. Together is even better, 3 times better.
You know that one time?
That one time that it almost happened, they went on a date once. Everybody loves Char, so I'm not gonna like go into all the reasons like that Char is awesome, except that he made them pay to make them pay, which I think is beautiful. Except, you know, he should have chose Hamon. He could have been better.
He chose poorly.
If he had just chosen Hamon and ZEON. But I also, of course, love Hamon Karn. She is not only one of my main cosplay characters, but of my top 3 characters of all time. I have what I like to refer to as my triangle of tragic villainesses. Though Cersei is making a move to get in there, I gotta tell you. But all 3 characters pretty much have a very similar archetype. Azula from Avatar, Alia Atreides from Dune, and Hamon Karn. They're all very tragic villainesses that have been twisted by power. They're not really evil, but they're kind of evil. It's not their fault. They just wanted someone to love them. If only Char had loved you, Hamon. If only Char had loved you. And I mean, they're both really like amazing pilots. I don't need to like recount how awesome they are. The Quebly is just a really cool mech, and I love funnels like a lot. The Falsia, Farsia. I love the flower funnel bits. Anything with funnel bits. But yeah, my number one will always be Char and Hamon. I can't pick just one. It would be impossible.
I feel like we should have kind of gone out of order on that one. I think you should have topped out the show with that, because I don't want to overshadow with someone who's done a lot more in less time. In 2 episodes, my number one wiped out an army, stole the Gundam, kept the Gundam, saved the girl, got the girl, and in his first 5 minutes in the show, he saves a village with a handgun and a homemade flashbang from a mobile suit. GARROD ran from Gundam X. And it's exactly for that. In those first 2 episodes, he accomplishes so much that takes most other protagonists the entire series to get half that kind of heroic work done for nothing. It's like, I'm just here. Oh look, there's this thing happening. I need to solve the problem. And he gets hired here on the side. It's like, oh, there's this thing happening. I don't like how this thing is going. I'm going to solve the problem. And then he gets the big gun and he solves more problems. And then it creates more problems, but that's how the rest of the series go. He solves problem, and he gets the problem done. He's not even a new type. He doesn't need any special powers. He gets help, but he doesn't have special powers. He's just your everyday teenage kid, just out there being a punk, and ends up being the hero without crying about it. I don't think at any point does he really stop for more than a couple of minutes to feel sorry for himself. Camille's always bitching and moaning. Amuro has to be put in line. Char's always, he's his family. Killed my dad. I'm so sad. Gary's just there without no baggage, no problems, and he gets the job done. But that's why I like him so much. He got the job done.
It's always refreshing when the series breaks its own trope. That's why, and I've talked about this if you know me, why Rossifon is superior to Ava Gilead, because Ayato didn't need a rebuild. He did it right the first time. He got in the dang robot and he did the thing, and it worked out pretty good for him.
But Rossifon may be for another time, another episode. But until then, I'm Zappa, this is the Queen of Space, and thank you for listening to the Colony Talk.